The time is 10 a.m. and this is WKYT Midmorning. Police are on the lookout this morning for two people after a late-night robbery in Lexington.
Afternoon storms did some damage and caused some flooding in central Kentucky.
And John Calipari and some of his basketball Wildcats tried their hand at a different sport. It was all for a great cause.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
Good morning to you and welcome in. Here we are on Monday, August 29th as we're sliding toward September this week. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. And I think we've got that combo going again, the heat and humidity.
Exactly.
We've got both of them.
But then it sounds like just as we flip the calendar, the weather changes too, for the better.
And that'll be nice.
Let's check in with meteorologist Jim Caldwell in this week for Micah. Good morning.
And good morning to you. And you don't see that often where it just goes perfectly in line with the month changing, but that's exactly what's going to happen a little bit later on this week. Right now in our live sky cam, you can see a nice clear picture all the way back toward the downtown area. It's 79 here in Lexington. Feels like of 82. Feels like it's going to really increase through the day today. We'll probably see it in the mid and upper 90s as the heat and humidity grows. We will track that into the area coming up in just a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit, Jim. Thank you. First this mid-morning, Lexington police are searching for two people responsible for a late-night armed robbery. It happened just after 11 o'clock last night on Laredo Drive near Reading Road and Lansdowne there in the Kirk-Levington area.
Lexington police say the victim was getting out of his car when two men walked up to him armed with handguns. They told him to give them his wallet. He did, and then police say the suspects ran to a neighboring park. They say both men were wearing skull masks that covered their faces. Police brought out a canine to try to track the two men, but they weren't able to find them. It's possible they had a car waiting. Police say a second caller told them they heard a car speeding away from that area shortly after that robbery. Well, Sunday afternoon storms caused some minor damage here in Lexington.
Yeah, we got several reports of high water and downed trees on the north side of town especially. And one of the areas that was hardest hit was Masterson Station. Some drivers told us they were forced to pull over because it was raining so hard they simply couldn't see the road. Lexington police blocked off portions of Citation Boulevard because the heavy rain left standing water in the roadway. Luckily, they say the storms did not cause any real major problems. Officials say, though, several schools in parts of northern Kentucky and around Cincinnati have to be closed today after the area there was hit by major flooding in those storms. Meteorologists say around 3 to 5 inches of rain fell in just a few hours up there. Police were even forced to shut down Interstate 71 for about an hour because of high water. And Duke Energy reported more than 13,000 customers were without power at one point. At last check, no injuries reported from all of that flooding.
Community members today are still mourning the loss of a Scott County teenager. Kentucky State Police say 15-year-old Morgan Penn was at a sleepover in Stamping Ground when bullets fired outside the home struck and killed her. Troopers have since charged Michael Davidson with Penn's murder. Last night, the Stamping Ground community held a vigil for Penn. Many of her friends were still at a loss for words over her sudden death.
I didn't understand. All day yesterday I just kind of talked to some friends and tried to understand what was going on. And then I got like 3 hours of sleep. I can't sleep. I feel like I'm gonna puke every time I eat.
Penn's visitation will be held Wednesday at Tucker, Yoakum, and Wilson Funeral Home in Georgetown. Her funeral will be held the following morning, also at that funeral home. A GoFundMe page has been set up to help Penn's family cover funeral costs. If you would like to donate, you can find a link to that GoFundMe on WKYT.com.
Louisville police are investigating what they're calling a tragic accident. Investigators say a 12-year-old boy, Tremaine Brown Jr., was shot by his juvenile brother at their home in the Pennyway neighborhood yesterday afternoon. Police have not released many details about what led up to the shooting. Louisville's homicide unit is trying to figure out how the boy got that gun in the first place. but at this time, no charges are expected to be filed. Investigators believe that slowed traffic, along with wet road conditions in Richmond, may have led to a deadly crash on Interstate 75 in Madison County. That was Sunday. Troopers say David McDowell was involved in a chain reaction crash near mile marker 87 while riding his motorcycle. They say McDowell was heading southbound with another rider when they hit the back of a car in slow-moving traffic. Troopers say they were working at least 2 other crashes in the area at the time. No other injuries reported.
2 Clay County officials facing multiple charges will head to court today. Police arrested Clay County Judge Executive Joe Asher and Road Foreman Buford Jarvis after a grand jury indicted them for abuse of public trust, bribery, and criminal possession of a forged instrument. Investigators say the 2 men used public money for projects in private homes. Asher and Jarvis will be arraigned today.
Federal investigators are looking into a computer virus affecting some hospitals and some patients in eastern Kentucky and West Virginia. An ARH spokesperson says they are dealing with technical complications, and as of now, the ARH system of hospitals is operating under an emergency operations plan. The computer virus has limited the hospital's use of electronic web-based services and electronic communications. All of the ARH computers are now shut down to avoid spreading the virus. And any patients who plan on visiting a physician with them are being asked to bring all of their prescribed medications to appointments with them until further notice.
Hundreds gathered to remember 2 nuns who were murdered in Mississippi last week. Mourners paid their respects at a church in Lexington, Mississippi. Police say Sister Paula Merrill and Sister Margaret Held were both found dead in their home last week. Merrill was a member of the Sisters of Charity of Nazareth, based in Nelson County, Kentucky. She'll be buried near the congregation's headquarters. Rodney Earl Sanders is charged with 2 counts of capital murder. Investigators say he confessed to killing the nuns. Well, Donald Trump is gearing up to deliver a major speech on immigration this week and then meet with voters at an African-American church in Detroit Saturday.
Trump's minority outreach comes as Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton is continuing to face questions over her time at the U.S. State Department. Hannah Daniels has the latest from both campaigns.
Donald Trump took to social media to detail plans for a, quote, major speech on immigration in Arizona Wednesday before big crowds. The development comes amid speculation the Republican candidate is softening some of his hardline proposals, including plans to create a deportation force. Appearing on CNN Sunday, running mate Mike Pence maintained Trump has stayed consistent.
We will have a mechanism for dealing with people in this country that you heard the word humanely again. It's going to be fair, it's going to be tough, but there'll be no path to legalization, no path to citizenship unless people leave the country.
Trump is facing an uphill climb trying to win over minority voters. The effort grew more difficult over the weekend after the Republican nominee tweeted about the murder of NBA star Dwayne Wade's cousin, adding, quote, African Americans will vote Trump.
He's been trying to make the case that the increase in random crime and senseless murders is unacceptable to all of us.
Hillary Clinton has been trying to paint Trump as hostile towards minorities while dealing with criticism over a so-called pay-to-play operation between the Clinton Foundation and the State Department.
It's not pay to play unless somebody, actually gave someone 50 cents to say, I need a meeting. No.
The Democratic nominee is off the campaign trail again today, holding more fundraisers with wealthy donors. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
2 Chicago men were charged yesterday with first-degree murder in Friday's shooting of Nikia Aldridge, the cousin of NBA star Dwayne Wade. With construction tying up Rupp Arena, UK head basketball coach John Calipari took his annual alumni game to the softball field.
All right, the UK coach, along with former Kentucky players and some other pro athletes and other celebrities, got together on the field in front of a couple of thousand fans at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. One of the highlights of the evening was the Home Run Derby contest, and it was won by reigning NBA Rookie of the Year Karl Anthony Towns. There he is with a big smile. The game raised about $300,000 for flood relief in Louisiana. They had a good time over there.
Yeah, they looked like it was a lot of fun, really. Well, keep it right here this mid-morning. Not many music superstars have been honored the way a country music icon is being recognized in her home state.
And lots of winners and lots of entertaining moments from the MTV Music Video Awards last night.
Forecast not so entertaining today. We're going to be tracking some steam and storms and then a nice little end of the work week. We'll break it all down next for you.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
We're tracking a little heat and humidity out there again today with a few showers and thunderstorms probably trying to pop up during the afternoon and evening. So steam with a few storms. That's really what we'll be dealing with today. High heat index early in the week. Today, mid-90s, upper 90s, close to 100 degrees. But toward the end of the week, a pattern flip. We finally get rid of some of the heat and humidity, and we're talking a pleasant little run going into the holiday weekend. 77 right now in Frankfurt. It's 78 in London, and we are closing in on 80 degrees here in Lexington. Very similar scenes all across central and eastern Kentucky, where you will find in some spots, a few locations getting closer and closer to 80 degrees. A lot of 77s out to our east. They had a little thicker band of clouds also sticking around that area as well. And you can kind of see some of it still holding steady there along Interstate 64, but generally clear everywhere else. Peak heating of the day, you'll see a scattering of cumulus clouds come our way. That should be about it. And that, and of course, a couple of isolated showers and thunder showers, which you track here later on this evening. Then it's quiet at night, normal summer-like pattern, and then you get maybe an isolated chance, and I do mean isolated. You can see just a little moisture trying to go up on Tuesday. Coverage could be a little bit better than that, but generally just isolated showers and storms. And then we await the arrival of this frontal boundary, because that front is going to not only give us a better chance of showers and thunderstorms, but look what's behind it, a big old dome of fall-like air. Frontward light shower storms Wednesday going into Thursday, but the more important role of that front is not the rain, it's what comes behind it. Humidity goes from up here to a more tolerable level. Very comfortable stuff coming behind that front. Highs will probably drop anywhere between 5 and 7 degrees below normal. And this time of year, that pushes it into the upper 70s and low 80s. You factor that in with low humidity levels, and we are talking about a very comfortable run in the weather world. Here's how good it looks for their 7-day forecast. Check out the end of it, because the first part of it is something we've all seen way too many times this summer. Heat and humidity, daily chance of showers and storms, but by the time the end of the week and end of the weekend get here, we are talking a good, comfortable run there. I mean, think about that. 80, maybe upper 70s, 50s at night. Now, we had a little taste of that early last week, but this is going to be even better. I promise. Because it's the holiday weekend.
We heard it, a promise.
Yeah,
okay, thank you, Jimmy. That's what I was waiting for.
With the season kicking off in the college ranks.
Yes.
Yeah, sounds good. All right.
Well, she's recorded more than 40 albums and owns a theme park with her name on it. Her #1 fan right here now, country music icon Dolly Parton will be featured on a special order Tennessee license plate.
Let's take a look at it. That plate features a picture of Dolly herself there, and it promotes her Imagination Library, which provides free books to kids 5 and under across the state. Now, it costs $35, but $15 of that purchase price will benefit the mobile library. Now, unfortunately for fans here in Kentucky, the plate is only available for vehicles registered in Tennessee.
But it'll be nice to see those around, driving around the country, you know?
Jim asked me earlier if I was looking for any property around Norris Lake.
We'll know what you're after. It's not really the Norris Lake property, it's the license tag. Well, there were several big winners at last night's MTV Video Music Awards show.
Chris Martinez has your eye on entertainment.
Okay, ladies, now let's get information.
For the first time ever, MTV hosted its Music Video Awards show in New York's Madison Square Garden, and the top names in music showed up to celebrate the night's big winners, including the winner for Best Music Video.
Beyonce, Formation! I dedicate this award to the people of New Orleans.
Rihanna was presented with the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award, which is MTV's honor for lifetime achievement. The singer-songwriter thanked her fans with a performance. Britney Spears also performed at the MTV VMAs for the first time since 2007. And out in theaters later this week, The Ninth Life of Louis Drax. Aidan Longworth plays 9-year-old Louis, who has survived 8 near-death experiences, including plunging from a steep cliff.
You know, we're not supposed to use the word miracle in the medical profession, but this might call for an exception.
Actor Jamie Dornan plays a neurologist who tries some unorthodox techniques to try to tap into the boy's unconscious to determine if Louis fell or was pushed.
Aidan would be, you know, not very good at lying with his eyes closed and staying still because he's like a 10-year-old boy and he just wants to talk about, you know, race cars and all kinds of stuff and computer games. So those moments are a bit of a challenge, but in a very sort of fun way.
The Ninth Life of Louis Drax opens in theaters Friday. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
All right, hope you'll keep it here on Mid-Morning on WKYT. Mission Lexington provides care to thousands of patients every year, and they count on the help of volunteers.
How you can help with that mission next on WKYT. Tomorrow's Mega Millions jackpot is $84 million, and Wednesday's Powerball is $154 million.
Welcome back. It's great to have you with us here at Mid-Morning on WKYT. The work never stops at Mission Lexington. In fact, we're just learning they're adding to what they're doing there. It takes dedicated staff and volunteers year-round.
We're joined by Chris Skidmore, Executive Director of Mission Lexington, to learn more about the need for volunteers. We do thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You know, first tell us, again, what Mission Lexington does and what it is that you're getting ready to do.
Thank you. For the past decade, we've been providing health care to those who can't afford it any other way, life-saving health care. Like in our medical clinic, we just recently diagnosed a father and prevented a fatal ketoacidosis. In Faith Pharmacy, we provide medications such as insulin that save patients' lives. A patient just told me that one of our psychiatrists just saved her life because we provide free mental health care too. And in our dental clinic, we once provided care for a mother. We reconstructed her smile after she stepped between her daughter and the crowbar of her abuser.
Oh, that's horrible. And you're going to be expanding services as well.
For the first time, we're going to be able to provide vision services. And in order to do this, we will need volunteers who are vision professionals. We need donors who can fund the expansion project. And we have a couple of opportunities for work crews to come in and do a little renovation on our facility.
And you were telling us that that really does not require any kind of intensive training. If they have the skills to help you out, show up, right?
Exactly. We're cleaning out a storage room, so anybody can pick things up and put them in a dumpster for us and haul things to electronic recycling for us to make room for this new vision opportunity.
What is your timeline for this? When do you expect to be up and running with that?
On September the 10th, which is a Saturday, it's one of our work days. We'll be cleaning out a storage room that day. And October the 1st, we will also be having another work day for individuals in the community, folks that just want to lend us a helping hand can come out.
Again, it is September 10th and October 1st.
That's right.
2 days.
Two dates.
Okay.
2 dates are our big work days for volunteers.
Very good.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in and keep us informed on the good work you're doing over there.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Appreciate it.
We'll keep it right here this Mid-Morning.
Going to check in with the Mr. Food Test Kitchen next and see what's cooking up here early in this brand new work week. We're working right now on WKYT News at noon, and we certainly hope you'll join us. We'll have the latest on that flooding in northern Kentucky and the Cincinnati area. It has been tough there.
More also on a neighborhood in Montgomery County that could be dealing with arsenic residue in its soil.
An update on the late-night mugging here in Lexington. We'll see if police have caught anybody.
News, weather, and sports ahead at noon on WKYT.
Also just learning of a hazmat fire apparently on the Hal Rogers Parkway, so Jim's going to try to get some more information on that before we go here to Mid-Morning.
Now today in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, they're putting together a meatloaf recipe.
But you should know that it involves a shortcut, a little secret ingredient.
If you ask 10 people how to make a really good meatloaf, you'll probably get 10 or more different answers. That's because everyone seems to have their own secret method. So to shake things up, I figured I'd share a spin-off on an American classic. We start by mixing together 1.5 pounds of ground beef, an egg, some chunky salsa, a generous amount of ranch-flavored tortilla chips that we've crushed up, a bit of shredded Mexican cheese blend, and a few spices to give it a kick. You see, the salsa makes this moist, and it's the shortcut that adds chopped peppers and onions and lots of flavor without any extra work. It's our secret weapon. And when it comes to mixing it, which I suggest doing with your hands, make sure you don't overmix it or it'll get tough once it's baked. Now, into a loaf pan it goes, and we'll pop it in the oven. Right before it's done, top it off with a bit more cheese to make it even more special. If you want, serve it with some extra salsa and get ready for lots of oohs and ahs. The recipe for our secret ingredient meatloaf is online now as a tasty new twist on one of America's favorite weeknight meals. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we're looking for a more flavorful way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, a little more information about this fire involving hazardous materials on the Hal Rogers Parkway. Our sister station WYMT reporting on this.
Yeah, it's right in Clay County, so the road shut down in that area. Obviously a big deal, and that's just some of the information that we have, so we'll try to get as much as we can on it. Weather-wise, maybe a few showers and thunderstorms later on this afternoon. We'll be talking about at least a few possible out there. Daytime highs getting into the low 90s today. Heat index values into the mid and upper 90s. So you're talking about a kind of air that we've had around here for a while now. It's something we're very used to, especially this time of year.
Unfortunately, we're used to it.
We
don't want to be.
used to. But what we want to get used to is what you see at the end of that 7-day. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all into the low and mid 80s, but when that comes back at us, especially those mid 80s Sunday, it's a pleasant mid 80 degree reading. You know, lower humidity. So much better looking forecast.
Should be very
well,
nice.
And especially with the UK game Saturday being a night game, it's going to feel so much more like football.
That's right. That's going to have that football feel to it, for sure.
All right. We want to thank you for joining us for WKYT Midmorning. Obviously, we have several stories in progress for the noon news, and we hope you can join us for that coming up here in a little while.
The Bold and the Beautiful is next here on CBS. We hope to see you right back here at noon. Until then, have a